Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss Adobe Aero, an augmented reality creation tool that has been developed by Adobe. Adobe Aero is an easy to use drag and drop creation tool to build an interactive augmented reality experience. It was created to be used by educators and creatives like all of us to create AR content without needing to know how to code. Aero easily connects with other tools in the Adobe Creative Cloud, such as Photoshop and Illustrator, and it is well suited in virtual storytelling. It is freely offered on macOS and iOS. This accessibility reduces the barrier of teachers to explore immersive education content. Adobe Aero is a program with multiple outstanding features which ensure that it can be used in the classroom. It also does not need complex programming instead of simply using a drag and drop design that is friendly to newbies. It will be able to produce interactive experiences via which virtual objects react to tap or movements. The tool anchors contents on physical spaces to create mixed reality effects. The effectiveness of Pharaoh in education is research based. Research such as the one conducted by Gomez Garcia emphasize passively the effects of AR in enhancing engagement and inspiration. It is an ideal tool when it comes to project based learning and allows students to become creators. It has high accessibility since it is more mobile friendly, and does not require a headset. The visual and interactivity element of Pharaoh can be particularly helpful in STEM as well as arts, allowing students to learn better and develop more details. It transforms students to passive learning to practical and very compelling learning. Even though Aero is promising, it has its limits, especially it works only on iOS and macOS, as well as Android and Windows are not supported. There might be an extended learning process of teachers who do not have Adobe tools. Although this feels logical, Aero has more sophisticated customization choices like in Unity. It is also cloud-based and therefore it cannot work without the internet. These limitations can prevent the mass adoption in the classes, particularly in the schools where there is no access to technologies or the infrastructure. It needs to be implemented through strategic planning. Aero presents provision of dynamism in learning. In history lessons, one can learn AR recreations of ancient cities. They can be in contact with 3D anatomy models and biology. Virtual gallery walks can be created by art teachers, and the stories will come alive by students of English by creating animated characters. The apps turn the abstract curriculum into real and immersive sessions. Aero embraces active learning, which enables the students to explore, question, and directly connect to the subject material in a multi-sensory fashion. Adobe Aero is an educational and creative tool compared to other AR tools. Aero is better suited to classroom storytelling as opposed to Spark AR, which targets social media filters. Zappar is compatible with Web AR, whereas the Adobe integration in Aero makes it more potent when it comes to creative endeavors. Quiver has pre-designed content, whereas Aero promotes custom style. ARKit is more of a developer tool and involves coding, and Aero is a better tool to use AR without writing code. Using Aero as a process was on the whole positive. Being a first time user, I found it's easy to lead design to be a plus. Although I had to be conservant with the use of Adobe tools, I would suggest it to artistic courses as art or history. Nonetheless, it was not Android supported and the available templates were few. I will apply it in my further classes, particularly project-based learning. There is potential in Aero, assuming that Adobe increases compatibility and the content. It can be a standard tools in the classroom. Studies affirm AR as an education opportunity. In a similar vein, Dan Levi shed light on the idea that AR improves the experimental learning process. Tang demonstrates the effectiveness of AR in such areas as drama and visual art. According to Gomez Garcia, the pre-service teachers regard AR is very practical. Hafner points out educational advances in immersion and interactivity. Such studies are in line with the reason of AR, the establishment of interesting and significant experiences, helping to develop better comprehension. Nevertheless, the iOS exclusivity of Aero restricts the accessibility of the application, regardless of whether it is free to access. Teachers who have not become familiar with Adobe tools should receive professional development. Its asset library remains not large enough to compare to those of the competitors. However, possible future is bright. A study by Xiong points out that AR will grow within the education sector in the nearest future. Tools such as Aero will probably be developed with increased demand and advances in technology.